Alright, artists, if you're like me and you need to add some color to your owl, that's what we're going to focus on today. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my little owl that I made last week, and I'm also going to grab some paint. Now I'm going to be using Tempera Cake paints here. They work a lot like watercolors, except for I think they're a little bit more vibrant, but you can use whatever paint you happen to have. So we're going to go ahead and first begin by working on creating a base color. Now remember that if you are mixing some paints together, you can always mix some white to make a tint and some black to make a shape. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to work with brown for my body here, but you might choose that maybe you want to do a different color for your body. Maybe you want to do a little bit more of a light brown, or maybe you want to do a darker brown. Maybe you want to do white. Remember that our owls have several different colors that they can be, as well as their feathers can maybe create some color patterns. But go ahead, begin by painting the base of your owl, the body, right up to the feathers on the top of the ear and going around the sides of the wings. Now I'm going to show you here, again, how we can take our paints and we can mix them. Remember that when you are mixing a color, you definitely want to make sure that you are cleaning your brush in between mixing, okay? Or you are separating it off to a side where you don't have other paint colors, because we don't want to get one color of paint into another color of paint. Okay, so I'm going to make some light brown here. So again, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take my brown and my white. Now I'm going to come here and I'm going to go onto the belly of my owl and I'm going to add some light brown. And then guess what I'm even gonna do now? I'm gonna mix more white into what I made, because I decided for the chest of my owl, I want definitely a lighter brown, and it might create a little bit more of a pattern here with my colors. So go ahead, work on the chest of your owl, maybe filling in with a little pattern for your owl's body. I also went to the feathers up on the top of my head, and I'm going to actually come down here now to my wings. I've decided again I'm going to create a pattern. So this color pattern that I'm going to make might include one color and then switching to another color. Back to my first color, then to my second color. Again, you decide how you would like to fill in your wings, but go ahead, let's do that now. Now we already talked about tints and shades, so let's talk about how we can also maybe make that tan color. Remember, you can take your brown and your yellow and you can mix those together and voila, you can create that beautiful golden tan color. Maybe you can add that onto your owl as well. Now, before we move on to the last few details of our beak and our eyes, go ahead, look over your owl. Did you miss any spots? Is there any part that maybe you want to go over with a different color now that maybe a spot has dried? I decided I wanted to grab some straight white and I wanted to create more of a pattern for my chest and for the feathers on top of my ears. So I'm going to do that now, and then I shall move on to my beak. So I can use maybe about one of the same colors that I used for my wings. I could maybe put that for my beak. Again, you can choose what color you'd like to do for yours. And then for my eyes, remember those big eyes that can see in the darkness of the night. So I'm going to go ahead, fill the big circle around with my yellow, and then on that inside, I'm going to fill in with black. Wow, my owl sure has some beautiful eyes that it can see me and all the nighttime creatures with. Alrighty, artists, once we have our adorable little owl painted, maybe go ahead, set it off to the side so it can dry. And then eventually it might fly. Okay, I'm getting a little bit silly here with my rhyming, but please make sure you send me a photo as soon as you are done filling in your owl with color. I cannot wait to see what it looks like, and I'll see you next time. Bye, artists.